Chile here with Sirius Stellus Moon. This is Sun. Our Sunday calling on Apollo. Apollo is removing tyranny, and the Sun is in the sign of relations, in the sign of the people, but people and leaders. Sun is with the bigger Sun, Sirius, and the Sun is squaring Saturn. It's applying to square Saturn. This is why the alignment with the bigger Sun is challenging. And I predict Sirius rising, even the positive ones, to be challenging because they are challenged by Saturn. And Saturn is the individual sense of self. Cancer is the people, the family, the community. And there is an inconjunct with Uranus, which is space, and with Sagittarius, which is freedom. Um, and yet those inconjuncts, this yod point that everything in Cancer stands in, is essential to find resolutions to that don't cause a genocide, democide, and depopulation. I gave an example. Almost every time before there is a big leak, a big exposure in the Epstein dossiers, a big leak in, something big happening in the world, we also see I also run into those that try to talk about, oh, we should, men are not trusted, men are not this, men are not appreciated. The Allison, the Allison files. Where is she to drop a petering? When we always hear her right before we find out more children were raped since infanthood. Now, why are these children raped since infanthood? Watch Douglas McIntyre. And why are men betrayed? Why are men betrayed? Why are men cheated on in such societies? In context. And this has to do with Sedna. Because they didn't abolish rape effectively. And then what happens? The only woman who is able to make them feel a man in a society where there is rape is a woman that was tortured until she will seduce them, and she can have real feelings because she would be looking for a man that is somehow, the quench, the thirst for love that is actually love, and for men that are actually admirable. But she will only be able to betray on him. She will only be able to be in constellation where he would be assassin. Why? Because he did not abolish rape effectively. A woman cannot admire a man that rapes infants, that believes that there are women that are okay with being raped, that believe that there are jobs where it's okay to rape women or to pay money for that. It's not an admirable man. A woman cannot admire a man she could never feel safe with. She can only admire him if he kills all the rapists until it's not economic to rape. if there are meetings or societies that rape, if he does bombings in them so nobody will be raped. And also man would find it difficulty to find women that he feels safe with. Because how can a woman that is not safe be safe? A woman that is threatened, a woman that can... And society where nobody wants people to have their own space, their own house, their own land, which is reducing neighbors' quarrels. When everybody has that, it's not about getting out of the hood, it's about everybody having. And the people that are aware of that, they suffer the most over nothing. But then when they make roars and screams and shouts to get the somatic and soul trauma of rape out of the body, they are harmed by the neighbors, by old ladies, by the healers that they go to. And all of them make same hand gestures as the societies that rape infants. Some of them because they were tortured, I was also tortured, and then they were using nervous system hack. And this is because I didn't agree to work with them.
אוניברסיטת בן גוריון, יצחק רגר.
جامعة بن غوريون، يצחק רגר.
התחנה הבאה, מרכז רפואי סורוקה, אוניברסיטת בן גוריון.
And they don't want people to speak. But the only way to live is when there's no rape, when there's no abuse. Even access to euthanasia, that is ethical euthanasia, that is not another form of torture, they prevent it. And then, when people try their best to heal, to end the Holocaust within, without causing another one and another one and another one, then everybody is triggered. Everybody is angry. But they didn't even allow us to die. Not to heal, not to die. What did they think would happen? Lilith is about to ingress to degree 22. We are not meant to live in a society of suffering. We are not meant to live in a society of people not having their space, their land, their house, their fresh air, their healthy soil.
מרכז רפואי סורוקה, יצחק רגר.
We're not meant to oppress the individual that asks for more, not just for themselves, that asks for, that what is this for? It's this basis, the basis for human existence. That births will be orgasmic. For births to be orgasmic, people need a space where they are, where they're safe and free from rape, but they're not raped. Definitely not by the neighbors. But the people who themselves suffer from this reality. Nobody has inflammation in the brain or neurodegenerative diseases or stroke or after stroke for anything other than rape-based society, both because of the policies of the doctors that prevented the proper access to medicine, the proper access to housing. They were the raped infants, and then they concluded they saw all the world against them, and they said, okay, the society is only for the population. Also the old people, yes, also the old people, they didn't stop babies from being raped, and their infants, their child, that they pay sometimes, I don't know how much money, because children are not born naturally, then they need IVF. And then the child wakes up at bed screaming. They change the diaper, they change it, everything looks okay, they take him to go to the doctor. What is this doctor doing when the patient is under anesthesia? Or to his own children. And then the doctor says there's no problem. He needs medication. He's high functioning autistic. High function at 2 years old, 3 years old. And then the baby says to the mom when they grow old, sit at the bus, the baby says to the mom, what he says to the mom? He says, Mommy, they're harming me. They're harassing me. Mommy, why do you give your child up so quickly? And the mommy says, no, behave well. I told you, we talked about it. Mommy loves you, behave well. To normal.
البلدية يتحق رجر.
Then he tells normal, and he tells everybody to do normal, and he depopulates the entire earth. That's the only thing that survives such society.